Good morning, students, faculty, family, and friends. Class of 21, as the great American poet Drake once said, we made it. When I thought about what sage remarks I could share about our time at this school, I thought of a few random things. Physics, lucky numbers, and fortune cookies. I like all of these things, so that's what I'll talk about. Last week, I turned in my final project for my physics class, and it focused on quantum entanglement. And it sounds like a really big, scary concept, but it's essentially the idea that two particles that have interacted could be a universe apart and, without touching, influence each other's behavior. Not even Einstein could explain how this concept worked. But I sat in a lab room in McElroy for weeks, waiting for my laptop to spit out a series of ones and zeros indicating that entanglement had been observed. And I thought about the fate, the luck it takes for two particles to find each other. The same luck it took for us to have met each other here and now. I look for luck in a lot of places, in the numbers on license plates and receipts and highway signs, even in graduation years. So I love being the class of 21. It's the product of two other lucky numbers, 3 and 7, the number of dots on a die, the day of the month that each solstice occurs to bring in a new season, and a winning hand in blackjack. It can't get much luckier than that. But the cards that we're dealt don't always feel lucky, especially when we were trying to explain how to connect the owls to the correct Zoom input mic for the 15th week in a row. Especially when we played our senior seasons with no student sections, especially when we didn't have the assurance of a certain tomorrow. But then again, what is the luck that I would meet a lifelong friend from a first day seating arrangement in history class in sophomore year? What is the luck that one club meeting I attended on a whim would change my high school experience entirely? The luck that our class is filled with the Ocho leaders, performers, scientists, artists, and athletes that define the character of our grade. The luck that you maybe got put in that one math class with a friend that made trigonometry bearable. The luck that the long bus ride home from an away sports game made a best friend out of your seatmate. The luck that the people on your left and right were the ones that chose to attend this school in this year. Even the luck that Caleb Massey arrived on time to our own graduation. We are luckier than we know. In a few short months, we will be states, coasts, and countries away from each other. Some of us might one day become the godparents of our classmates' children. Others might just be names mentioned in long-forgotten stories. Some of us will come back to this campus on our first holiday home from college, but others might never step foot on it again. But our hearts and minds have been entangled here. Like lucky particles, we have had the perfect conditions to find each other, chance encounters over our years spent here. And like lucky particles, our paths have been altered by each other, tied together with invisible quantum strings. As we continue on, there will be thens and nows and nexts. The thens are those things that are unchangeable, behind us, and captured only in time. The final high school summer that has already passed with the assurance of seeing each other again. The final weekends of putting off homework until Sunday night. The final papers shoved into backpacks, and the last spot on the Hillman walkway filled with inscribed names on bricks. The thens are the things that have been memorialized into stories and yearbooks and articles about Whitfield championship winning teams. The thens are the people we were here, and the people that we will never be again. The nows are a lot harder to see. They're the graduation we're sitting at right now that our younger selves had always hoped for, or maybe we're tuning it out. They're the final nights spent at the Waterworks Cold Stone and the college packing lists and the family dinners. They're the final bits of quiet before we set off to experience the rest of the world. And the nexts are everything else. Every future decision we'll make, every passing stranger we'll befriend, and every city we haven't been to yet. We've been lucky to have our thens here. We're lucky to have the nows, and we're very lucky that our nexts will be shaped by this place too. On Monday evening, I celebrated the conclusion of my secondary schooling with General Tso's chicken and a vegetable spring roll at Jimmy Wan's. It was very good. The sauce to chicken to rice ratio was nearly perfect. Always eager to take advice from a mass-produced dessert, I pried for the fortune inside my cookie after dinner. Perhaps this could be the profound advice I leave with my graduating class, considering I had not written a speech yet. And the fortune read, "When the moment comes, take the first one from the right." It was vague, it was random, it was very confusing. I was like, is the first one from the right the furthest one on the right, or is it the first one in from the right? And what is the moment? It was very, very vague. So I flipped it over, hoping to at least get my lucky number 8 on the back, because I figured it would bode well for me. Instead, I found 19, 54, 37, 40, 47, and lucky 21, the first one from the right. I smiled at the wonderful significance. I will bet on us forever, class of 21. When we're miles or decades apart, we will always be a product of the people we were here, a product of each other, and a product of the luck that brought us together for the past 4 years. Because we have known each other here, we are entangled for the rest of our lives. So look for the lucky numbers, seek solace in fortune cookies, and when the moment comes, take the first one from the right. Thank you.